Hello, everyone, and settle into your chairs, and we'll think about a story about human potential. I want to share with you today. So come to the breath. Nice, easy. Breathe in, breathe out. Glorious breath. I want you to feel your body. Just kind of coming to the body. And this is a story about our ability to be a vehicle of power. Not in the sense of power over anything, but having that connection to infinite potential. So the story is from the YMCA, and I help to facilitate a program that helps people that have different types of mobility and limited mobility, MS, stroke. One of the participants had paralysis on one side. And what helped him cope and get through the day is his ability to make fun and tell you jokes and make you laugh. And whenever I would see him and he would come to the Y, it would be, what is he going to share with me today? The joke about when the car wakes up and he says, I didn't sleep good, I'm exhausted, that ability to make fun, right? So even though he had the physical disability, he had the ability to make light of the situation. So that was part of my experience with this program that was special needs. And what it was is a program for people who could come to the pool and they could use the pool. It was free to them, and that's part of the reason why I stayed at the Y, is to help facilitate these programs that were beneficial to people, to help them stay empowered, stay engaged in their existence. So I want to share with you an experience that I had with this particular participant who he had some weight on his body. It was about, so I would say 275, 280. And we had a hydraulic lift that would bring the person into the pool and then bring them back out again. They would transfer their weight onto the chair, and going in the water gave them that freedom. You would see them light up and become joyful about being in the water, right? So one day, I always had in the back of my mind, what if the lift broke? That would be horrible. And with the age of the lift, it always was in the back of my mind. So one day I noticed that the lift was going down with Kenny on it, and one side of his body, remember, he had a stroke, so he his leg was underneath the lift. And I thought, oh my gosh, she's gonna, crush his leg. So my hand was there and I grabbed the lift, and in those moments, I felt as if there was no time and space. Okay, so there was that adrenaline, I guess you would call it. But this really kind of stuck with me, that in those moments I felt the energy flow, and all of the energy was going to my hands, and I felt it was my job to hold this chair. And interestingly enough, I wasn't able to speak. And in my mind, my mind said, you've got to ask for help. Because you can't stay in this position for much longer. So I remember it took a while for my mind to say, you've got to ask for help. So meanwhile, a friend of mine that I worked with saw what was happening. She came over and she held onto the chair. And in my mind, I'm saying, Sarah, just move his leg and we'll lower him down. So finally, I got it to come out. I got my ability to speak out and said, get his leg out. And she moved his leg and we lowered him down. Now, meanwhile, passersby aren't really knowing what really went down. Everybody kind of goes along on their own accordance, Everybody is kind of thinking about what they're doing and not what's really going on around them. So it's really a story about awareness. It's not the fact that I got some superhuman power that day. That's not what this is about. This is about that awareness of the human potential. And if we really put our heart and our mind and our bodies, will just be that vehicle. It's about being that container. Because afterwards, I kind of walked around like in somewhat of a daze, because I didn't know whether I was hurt, and I realized I wasn't hurt. And this feeling of empowerment really kind of rushed over me. And I had to get over the fact that nobody really, not that they didn't care. My CEO said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And over the months and years, and whenever I feel like I need to figure out something, I'll think about that day. And I'll think, wow, if that happened, what else could happen if I really cared and put forth and let the energy, adrenaline, higher power, whatever you want to call it, if I can be open to it and let it come through me, and have the knowledge that it happened, not just write it off. It's holding that idea and letting that idea and that wisdom be shared throughout the community. Then I think we can do brave and powerful things for humanity. So it's not so much a power within of strength and muscle. It's a power within the mind. It's changing that mindset to be that container of infinite potential. Thank you for listening to my story.